Hi, Chris. Thanks very much for joining me today. I'm very excited about this. I was running a home safety workshop, blueprint actually, and one of the people on the course had a very interesting question. So she's very interested in building out her layers and stuff as we spoke on the course. But the problem is that she's renting, and she really doesn't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of equipment that she has to leave essentially when she leaves the apartment. And so I was looking for something that, and she's quite interested in quite a few of the elements of the alarm layer. So I was looking for something that would be, that she'd be able to take away with her. And I came across this fantastic product called Ajax. And I don't know if you know it, but we test everything. So we never talk about a product that we haven't tested. So I got a hold of you, and you offered to drop this off for us to test. And we kept it for a few days, and we tested pretty much every element of it. So, so what makes Ajax different from other products?
Thanks, Kelee. First of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for chatting to me. I think let's actually use the example that you did. It's a person who was looking for a system that they could, they're renting and moving out. And I think it's been quite a common problem for a lot of people who are renting is, they might rent a place and there's no security in there. They've got to then try and convince the landlord to pay for this extra cost. And if the landlord doesn't, then they've got to put it in. It's normally a wire system. It's a cost now to get it out. It becomes quite a pain on something that all tenants should actually have a right to is good security. So what the Ajax is, and I think what makes it, there's a couple of things that makes it quite different to other products and alarm products in the market. But I think the first most obvious one is it's completely wireless. So a lot of wireless systems, you've still got to wire the keypad, you still got to wire the siren. So there still are elements of wire in wireless. With Ajax is completely wireless, and I'll touch on that why that makes it easier for installation. But essentially, in the case you brought up, that tenant can put the wireless system in, month runs for a year, they can move, and they can simply take it off the wall and they can put it in their next place. So it's really easy for them to take with. But I think probably the main big difference with Ajax is, and what I really like about it is that it gives the power and control of the system to the owner. So I think
I actually thought it was quite a sexy little system. You want to show us the main box there?
Yeah. So funny enough, when Ajax first came out, their payoff line was when security is art. It was
okay.
Really, so they obviously quite liked that idea. So that's the hub. So you can see it's a cool little thing. So this is the brains of the system, and that's that thing that a lot of people, that big box, have hidden away in a cupboard or on a roof. So that's the brains of the system. That's the hub. So it's really nice and compact.
So how does that send signals to the app and security companies?
So the Ajax. It's based on really new technology in the terms of South African, for probably the last 20-25 years, alarm systems have sent signals with a radio. So that radio goes to the control room and an alarm response. Whereas with Ajax, you'll see here, I don't know how clearly you can see it, but at the back you plug in your power and you plug in a little LAN cable into your router. So that signal gets sent to, in the app, I'll talk about it in a minute, but it sends a signal to your app. And then to the alarm response company via the internet. And if that internet ever goes down for whatever reason, whether it be Eskom that's down as it does, then you've got a SIM card as a backup. So that's your backup safety. And just talking, we're mentioning Eskom and power outages, is that little hub has a 15-hour backup battery in it. So more than enough for any load shedding we have. And what's really nice is, and it's going back to sort of the app now, and it gives it the owner real control and information of the system. So on the app, it'll actually say that the battery is now starting to run. So it's now 90%, 80%. So on the app, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it so well in this video, but and I'll try and move it about to the right position, is that you can see it actually gives a list of all the devices. So your door contacts, your PIRs,
Yeah.
and it shows you that your battery's full, your signal levels are strong or weak. But it also gives the owner even more control than that, is that it allows you to change the sensitivity of a PIR. So some people call them PIRs, some people call them eyes. It's that little sensor in the corner of the room. You can actually change the sensitivity from your app. You can change the volume of your siren, the length of your siren, and different sensors on night modes or stay modes. So you're not having to rely on a company to come out, charge a call-out fee. They can get to you in a couple of days. You can actually do it right there on the app and change the system.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I really, and I try to trick it. So, you know, I think one of the big concerns out there right now is a lot of the bad guys know how to overcome some of the beams and PIRs. And so do you have some kind of a tamper proof or something on it?
Yeah, so each of the little devices, so I'll use, this is just an example. This is the little, the PIR, the indoor PIR. And you can see there's a bracket on it. So as soon as that gets removed, there's actually a little tamper switch, and that will send a siren off on your app as well as the system. So, and that's on all of the devices. Everyone has the same sort of design. As soon as that's been removed from the wall or ripped off.
And what happens if you cover it? Because that's quite a common thing now. They just put like you know, an old ice cream jar over your beam, and then when you set your alarm, the beam doesn't set.
Yeah. So the outdoor sensors.
How do you overcome that?
Yeah. So the outdoor sensors have a feature called anti-masking, and that's what it's called. When somebody tries to mask your sensor,
Okay.
like you mentioned, a hat, ice cream, even spray paint to spray paint the lens, and so. These sensors, the outdoor sensor will actually pick up it's being covered and trigger an alarm and let you know about it. So it stops that from happening.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So where's Ajax from? Where does Ajax come from?
So it's actually from the Ukraine. It was founded in 2011. Been in South Africa for just over a year.
Okay.
Sorry, just over 2 years.
Okay.
And but it's had a great response, growing quickly, and we've also.
Good. Thank you very much for letting us test it. I think it's a fantastic product. What would you say the product is actually targeted at? What types of people other than people who rent?
So I think the Ajax system, it's probably something I didn't even mention to you. Well, you know about it, but not mention to now. Is that it's very easy to self-install as well. So when you've got these little PIRs, you'll see on the back of all the devices, they've got a little QR code. So what that means is that you can go onto your app, you can scan that little QR code, label it like lounge or outside garden, turn it on, and that's the programming, it's done. So, and then you simply mount it onto the wall. So it's targeting, I think, people who want to look after their own security. They don't want to be completely reliant on third parties. They want to take charge of their security. I think it's a perfect market for apartments, for, ironically, security complexes. Because a lot of people living in apartments and security complexes actually think they've got like a false sense of security because they think I'm living in these good perimeters, electric fence, cameras. But the weakest point is always the entry-exit point. Someone simply not closing the gate properly or not checking they've driven in and they haven't checked someone slipped in. So they don't tend to have alarm systems in these security complexes. So I think this is the perfect sort of system that is targeted for apartment security complexes and homes and businesses. In fact, businesses are looking to use it more. I showed you the entry-level hub, but you also get the Hub 2 Plus, which can take up to 200 devices. I'll just say what's also really nice about this system is that it can take up to 100 devices. So what we see a lot of people are doing is, and so they are maybe getting a basic system because they've got a certain budget at the time, and then they want it, and then a month or two later, they add another couple of sensors and then an outdoor sensor, so they can actually build a system up according to their budget and requirements over time, which is really, really nice, I think.
Okay, you just stole my closing statement.
Oh, no. Sorry.
It's okay. No, thanks very much, and it was great chatting to you, and I wish you all the very best, and I really think it's a nice product, and I think if you market it at exactly what you've been talking to now, I think you're going to do very well. So best of luck, and thanks again for the chat.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for having us.